Hello, Quadabble here, and I'm on another Takeover account, and I was just hanging out, and this person has already beaten stage 25 and has a really good time at 4:29. But being that this is a really good count, he wants it under 4 minutes, and heck, we might even be able to get 3 minutes. You never know. So I just wanted to show you a little bit about this account. It is a good account, I must say. I wish I had this account. I play more free to play, and I have nowhere near this many great champions that this gentleman has. Just tons of stuff. Just really good. Filled it to the brim. Plenty of chickens. I imagine they use these for chickens. Some of them, at least. So I'm going to go through. I thought I'd introduce you to this account. It is level 92, same as me, but like I said, I'm nowhere near this great accounts level. But I'm going to go in and tinker his Fireknight. So we're going to hopefully get that down from that 6 minutes and 4 minutes to get it under 4 minutes, if not faster. So it's going to make a quick, short introductory video, and there'll be a part 2 to this. Or I'll just put it at the end of this. We'll see what happens. So, have a good one. Bye. Hello, Quadabble here, and I'm finishing up that video I started earlier. And I wanted to put up a tool that I used, and I wanted to put up 3 or 4 different teams that seemed to work or didn't work. So you can see on this team right here, with Lysandra's speed, which is a very popular one for this account, I did get down to a 5:01. I couldn't really get under 4 minutes. I didn't have any of them. You can see the best time that happened was 4:28, and his best time was 4:29, so I only beat it by 1 second on one team. But this team right here, if you go to here and then you go into these team setups, and this is the tool that I used. So, because sometimes you get in there and you try things and you change one thing, and then you're like, well, what was that other team? So what I did was I made 5 Fireknight teams, and then what you can do also is you can name them, but what you can also do is you can go in here and you can turn skills on and off. So like this Art of Pain, I didn't feel that this skill, even though it had decreased attack, the poison, and if it had a heal reduction, I didn't really feel like that was worth it. Because once you get to the Fireknight himself, you need that either A1 4 hits, or you need the Heart Seeker. So I actually went in here and I turned off Don't Use. Now you could still use it as an opener if you wanted to at the beginning of each round, but then it'll stop using it. So that's not a bad way to do it, but I didn't want her to possibly miss a chance of helping me bring down that shield in the final one. Chris, I had his go first on this invincible shell. I made sure it went the first of every round. I think his passive already did that, but I wanted him to have this invincible shell to put the provoke on, because the provoke helped so much with the champions that put the unkillable on, and that was such a pain to find a champion that could beat it. Now Rhodos is good at that, and Krisk is good at that. So this team wasn't bad, and you just saw that I had a 5:01 for a time frame using Lysandra as the team leader. And then you go, yeah, I'll save it. But then I had this team come in, and I didn't think that this team did very good. I don't have a time reference for it, but these other ones I do. Now this team 1, the reason I'm using these 2 champions is because she puts, Lydia puts the poison, excuse me, she puts on, she does the extra damage. Here we go. I'm looking at the wrong one. So here's your whole death, which isn't very useful in this one. But she puts the poison sensitivity on. Also, besides put block buffs and block active skills, she's kind of like Dracomorph, but she doesn't put any poisons on. So that's why I teamed her up with Bad El-Khazar, and Bad El-Khazar did a good job of putting poisons on, healing my champions and doing all that stuff. But this team didn't really take care of the block unkillable. So it kind of, you were hoping for Lydia to get in that nullification for block buffs, to get in there, get it on, and you could make that go first by simply clicking the opener, or you could go first choice. Valkyrie was amazing in this team because she ensured that you got the extra hits on the shield, but this really has no time control. So this team was basically, this team, I said failed. It was like 8 or 10 minutes. I didn't really care for this team. And then this team was a good team, but I think it went up to 8 minutes also. So again, no time control except for Cold Heart, honestly. But the Valkyrie working with Chris would do that AoE on his A1, so it really helped me get through the turn meter stuff. But this one didn't do me a bunch of good either, and you can see I did try to manipulate some of these, and that was the benefit, in my opinion, was to put that poisons on, get that first hits, good for bringing down the shields. But the best team that I felt was probably this team right here. This particular round, it did do a 8 minute and 30-second time frame, but it had everything. That's what I felt. I felt like it had everything that I needed. Increased attack to get the extra hits on the damage. Valkyrie got the A4, the 4-hit A1 working really good. Now what I wanted to do was show you some photo captures that I did. That way you can see how some of these worked better than others. So give me just a sec. Right here and right here. So you can see I had these takeover videos that I put up here. This was a 533, was this team. Bad Alcazar was healing everybody and putting the poisons on. A good hit. And I used Valkyrie to get the 4-hit A1 back and forth. But again, not much turn meter control against the final boss. And then here's an 854 for this team. I put a reviver in there, and I found out it wasn't necessary with Bad Alcazar, so that's why I kind of turned away from this one, even though it was a 4 minute and 54 second. But here you have that 4 minute and 28 second team, and it is a good team. It is a good team. And Rhodos was the way I got past the unkillable on those first two creatures. And then you can see the poisons working with Bad Alcazar. It just put tons of poisons on the champions. And then, of course, Ghostborn, I believe, also had something to do with that. So just a sec. Sorry about that. Yeah, Ghostborn was the one that I was using for the heal reduction, because that's really important. If you're not going to try to use all the turn meter stuff, you need to get that heal reduction. Cold Heart does that also, and she has the 4-hit A1, which is really good when working with Valkyrie. But this was the team that got the fastest time, but it wasn't as consistent being under 5 minutes. And like I said, I couldn't get under 4, but I did get a best time of 4:28 with this team. So these are just all different teams that you can try out and see if they work for you. Here I had a 501, and this one I used Cold Heart to get that heal reduction on. And then Chris the Ageless with Valkyrie was phenomenal for taking out the ads in the very beginning. So this again, I believe, is the best team overall, just because it was consistently around 5 minutes. So hopefully these teams up here will be a good example for you to possibly, maybe you don't have these champions. If you don't have a Chris the Ageless, but you have a Rhodos, I would suggest using Rhodos, because you need someone who can take care of the unkillable. He avoids unkillable shields, all that stuff. He just gets in there. I might be saying that wrong, who knows. But I just wanted to again point out to you that on this this new tool that they brought in, the team setup, which is available to players level 30 or accounts level 30 or higher, that you can start going in here, and like I said, you don't have to lose that team that did you the best. As you keep making changes, even changes in your setup, where you're making things go first or you're avoiding things, these are great tools. So, well, I hope this was helpful. I didn't make that 4-minute mark, but I did get a good consistent 5-minute mark on this team. And hopefully, if you've got some of these champions, if you don't have a Rotos or Chris the Ageless, the other thing I could say is find a champion that does a high chance or 100% chance of provoke, just to get through those A1s. And then if you don't have a Valkyrie for the counterattack, she's kind of a slow attacker anyways, especially on her counterattack. It might speed it up. And you might want to try the champion... let me bring up the index here. In the Ogun tribes, there's a good champion, Skull Crusher. He puts counterattack on all champions except himself. Plus, he places an unkillable buff on himself. And then he goes in there and he has a 50% chance on his A1 to put in a heal reduction. So just another little bit of benefits to help you get through to the end. And you have to have a good combination between taking care of that unkillable in round 1, and then you also have to be able to do a lot of damage to those champions. So a decreased defense and a weakened champion like Dracomorph is really good. Lydia is used a lot. So hopefully this can get you down. And you know what? If you've got a team that can get underneath that 5-minute mark, you can see that this account is a very well-developed account. And if you've got something that can you put it down in the comments down below so we can all learn from it and use that. So trying to keep these videos around 10 minutes or less. So hopefully this is helpful and you have a good one.